Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy and overwhelmed by the responses I am getting from my readers of my new book Courageously You. I am going to read out a preface which is why courage and how to use this book so that you have more understanding as to why I wrote this book and how this book can be beneficial for you. I'm also trying to get comfortable with this new setup. I hope my audio quality has improved, and please let me know your thoughts about the content that you are seeing on my channel. So if you haven't subscribed, then please do, because we are going to come up with more book readings, more understanding, more concept, and falling in love with your life. So let's start. Why courage and how to use this book? The hustle and grind culture is gaining a lot of popularity in today's society, especially amongst the younger population. I am not against hustling to achieve your goals, but the problem I see today is that we are hustling behind second-hand goals and desires, which are not even authentically ours but ingrained by social comparison, by the marketing world, and by classic conditioning. There are hundreds of people wishing to be successful. Only a few of them are actually successful. And out of those, only few people are really healthy and satisfied with their life. Rest of them are suffering from their success because they are internally broken. Now, why did I write that people, in spite of being successful, are internally broken? Because the desires that they work towards were not authentically theirs. And when we follow the route where we are not enjoying the process, but we are crazy behind the results, even when we get those results, we feel internally broken. This is what many successful people have recorded in their interviews, have spoken about. So why not learn from them? Why not learn from our experiences and actually redirect ourselves towards our authentic goals? Remaining people who did not live up to their own expectations have been labeled themselves as mediocres or failures. They label themselves as average. The question is, what will make our life truly satisfying? How can we create a positive impact in other people's life? How can we make this world a better place to live? I stayed with these questions for years and carefully observed how my life unfolds. How this creative intelligence of our universe has installed a software called purpose before creating us. Now, this is what I believe, that being born as human being, that means life force taking a form of human, cannot be an accident. It has to be done with some purpose. So any life force taking form of a human has to happen because of a purpose. And that's what I call the soul's duty. This is also called as swadharma, a dharma that you are born with. Aligning your karma, that is your action, to swadharma will lead to ultimate satisfaction. Our purpose gets clear in our mind when we are absolutely truthful to ourselves and stop living second-hand lives, the life which looks glamorous only from outside. Now, when we do not know what to do, it's okay to accept that I don't know what to do, because then that is the point where you start speaking truth to yourself. That is the point where you start being brutally honest towards yourself. And that's the starting point of clarity. To live purposefully requires immense courage, because very few people approve your quirky ideas. Now, why does this require so much of courage? It is because the people around you are not just going to validate your ideas with a stamp mark or with the right tick mark that we got in our schools. Like, I always give this example that if Elon Musk starts talking about SpaceX, when he first talked about SpaceX, about the cars that he is making, people actually laughed at him. We did not know what was going to happen, but that person had a lot of faith and belief in his ideas because he is a visionary. He can see something that we all cannot see. I can see something that others might not see. So if you are able to see that big picture, if you are able to see that vision where your invention, your ideas, your work is going to impact people's life, then it is your primary responsibility to make it happen. Very few people will value what you have to say, especially when you are a beginner. Now, when you begin something, I heard this somewhere that be a dignified beginner, be a dignified starter. The full form of fail, FAIL, is first attempt in learning. So why do we want to entitle ourselves for success? Why do we want to always get everything right in place? It's okay to take few steps and then understand, okay, come back, understand what went wrong, do it the right way, understand what is the right way, because the joy of life is not in doing the right things, neither it is in doing the wrong things, neither it is in labeling things as right and wrong. The joy of life is actually creating experiences. So for example, I loved the experience of writing this book where few chapters outline was there in my mind, but everything else just happened effortlessly. That does not mean that I didn't take any efforts, but it was the memory bank of so many years. It was being with people, having deep conversations with people, reading a lot about other people's, their failures, their success stories. So all of them got something original and creative out of me, but for that I had to be in the creative flow, and to be in the creative flow I had to drop out all the second-hand desires that I had picked up from society, from conditioning, all of that. Most people start this journey of following their passion, but listening to their heart, get soon disappointed when they come across challenges. This is the time to hustle and overcome these challenges with courage. Now we all understand what is listening to heart, but when we start listening to a heart and we see challenges coming up, that is the time when we want to run away. That is the time when we want to avoid failure. That is the time when people around us say that I told you this will not work. You see what happened? And that is the time when we want to prove ourselves. But get dispassionate about all of that. We are not here to prove anything to anyone. We are here to be, to explore, to learn, to play, to teach, to just absorb the knowledge that we experience by all our five senses, by our intellect, by just our being, because the deepest knowledge is in realization. It is not in textbooks. If you have a vision that makes a difference in people's life and leave you satisfied, this book is for you. Many times you might find yourself in dark places. You are not alone. This book is there with you. It will guide you. Every chapter consists of necessary theoretical understanding, stories to understand them better, and exercises at the end to reflect and to apply knowledge. Use those exercises to tune into your internal guidance system and learn proactive execution. The whole point that I am trying to make in this book is that your internal guidance system will guide you, and it has always been guiding you. We are the ones that do not listen to it. We listen to all other voices but not our inner voice. People call it intuition, people call it with many different names, and it's not something abstract. When you are doing something that is aligned to you, you will feel a different kind of freedom and expansiveness. For example, if I'm doing something that is authentic to my growth and my journey, I feel an expansion in my heart center. And when I'm not doing the right thing, which is not falling in alignment with my true values, I feel a contraction. So by this understanding that how my body is responding, because your body has a lot of wisdom to it, your body is responding to your actions, I understand whether my actions are right and wrong. And I need to have the courage, because unless and until I take the action, there is no other way to break the conditioning. Because once you have gotten used to listening to your inner voice and expanding with time, there won't be any external passion that would control you, that would manipulate you, that would fetch you into negative behavior. You will always do the things that you were actually born to do, that is your dharma. So this is how you align your karma with your dharma, and this is one of the most virtuous ways to live, which has also been prescribed by our scriptures, but I wanted to put it in a modern context. And I hope that we get more courage to live according to our true values. The book has many chapters to actually help you tune in with your internal guidance system. I hope that we all have a conscious and awakened life. Thank you.